Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to talk about three topics, and we are first going to talk about Ansu Fati. The second topic that we are going to be talking about is about Sergio Dest, and we are going to be talking about the new UCL format that will happen in this season and how this could benefit FC Barcelona. So we are first going to start with Ansu Fati, and this is some huge news. But before I get into that huge news, I do want to address a rumor that did come out about 2 days ago, because many people were asking, like, is this true? Is this actually going to happen? And so we are going to talk about this right now. It says here, according to Sport, Ansu Fati's attitude and eagerness are factors that Manchester United value a lot. Away from the spotlight, Fati has always been humble and eager to work to improve. There's talks of a 150 million euros offer from the English outfit for the 17-year-old. And then they continue to say, Manchester United have been in the deepest valley since a couple of years now, despite the large investments made in Pogba, Maguire, Lukaku, Di Maria, Martial, and Fred. The team is unable to fight for the Premier League title, let alone the Champions League trophy. Then they continue to say Ansu Fati's signing would excite the fans, not only for the present but also for the future. Manchester United are ready to splash serious money on the forward. And so this news about Manchester United and Ansu Fati has been going on for a very long time. We have been hearing about this relationship going on all over the media, in the news, on Twitter, social media, everywhere. And it actually started to seem real that Ansu Fati could go to Manchester United. And there was a report coming out, and there was multiple announcements stating that the board and the coaches were planning on using Ansu Fati, but they were planning on using him less. And if he wasn't getting enough minutes in the first team, he would be placed in the Barcelona B squad. All of this was getting the people of FC Barcelona very worried, because Ansu Fati is a great player with great potential, and if the board do not manage this player right, we could potentially hinder his success, or he could leave FC Barcelona. And then there was another report that stated shortly right after, they have said Barcelona rejected a second offer of 150 million from Manchester United for Ansu Fati. And so this whole report is telling me three things. So the first one, the fact that they stated that the fans of Manchester United are excited to bring in Ansu Fati is completely false. The fans of Manchester United, like, there's a 99% chance that those fans don't even know who Ansu Fati is. We have to remember that Ansu Fati is a superstar, but he's not a superstar like globally. We know him in Barcelona, but globally he's not known by many other clubs, and so that statement is false. The second thing that I do want to point out is that they have stated that Barcelona rejected a 150 million euro offer. That's completely false. Also, there's no credible journalist or reliable outlets out there stating that same thing. We have to cross that out. I also do want to back that up by a report from Moises Llorens, who works closely with ESPN. He said Bartomeu would have to go into hiding if he accepted an offer for wonder kid Ansu Fati. No concrete offer has arrived for Ansu Fati so far. He will not be sold. They continue to say there has been interest in Ansu for a while from many clubs. Even Real Madrid were monitoring him before he renewed his contract. It is not news to us that clubs are asking about him, but Barcelona will not sell this player. And so there you have it. Even Bartomeu has made it clear that they will not sell Ansu Fati. And so this report coming from Sport is completely false. Yes, clubs are interested in this player, but no one has made a serious offer. And there has been reports stating that Barcelona are looking to improve Ansu Fati's contract. And this is a coincidence, because today, about 6 hours ago, a report came out from a reliable journalist basically stating that Barcelona are officially trying to improve Ansu Fati's contract. And this is what he had to say. Barcelona will improve Ansu Fati's contract after the season. He will get a first team contract, which means he will no longer be able to play for Barcelona B. His release clause will be increased to 400 million euros. And this is some huge news to hear that Barcelona are finally doing something right this season. They do want to improve Ansu Fati's contract. They understand finally that Fati is a big asset to the club. And again, this is just new. This is not something that Barcelona were thinking about 2 to 3 weeks ago, because not too long ago, it says here, there was a report that stated that the idea is that he'll train and be part of the first team, but if he isn't getting the necessary playing time, then he'll go down and play for Barcelona B, who are in the middle of the playoff picture in the hunt for promotion. And I wanted to bring that report up again because this idea of improving Ansu Fati's contract is all new. I don't know if yesterday's performance has something to do with it, but Barcelona right now, at the moment, they do want to promote Ansu Fati and completely have him as a first team player. Now, here's the one thing that does get me slightly worried. Ansu Fati is going to improve his contract under a board that is not so popular within the Barcelona fan base, because you and me are well informed and we all know, not even the Barcelona fans, but everyone else that likes football, that this board of FC Barcelona lacks project planning, and they are a board that does love to do big signings. We have seen Dembele come in, we have seen Coutinho come in, we have seen Griezmann come in, and now they either want to bring in Lautaro Martinez or Neymar Jr. And knowing that this board likes to move in this way, and now knowing that Ansu Fati might be established into the first team next season, could this actually hinder Ansu Fati's minutes? And not only his minutes, but also his development, because we never know. Maybe by next season, we might find ourselves in a situation where Neymar Jr. is in the squad and we also have Ansu Fati. And if we have both of those players in, and with Neymar Jr. and Ansu Fati playing in the same position, this could greatly hinder Fati's development. And I know that he's young, I know that he has a lot of time, but there is no reason to delay Ansu Fati's development. We should get the best out of him and get the most out of this player, because he is only 17 years old. This player can serve us for a very long time. But then there's this other side of FC Barcelona, another possibility that could happen, and that is Ansu Fati signs that new contract. He's worth 400 million euros. He's in the first team. The board and the coaches and the staff, they all agree that Ansu Fati should be the man to be played on that left wing position, and then have Ansu Fati prosper and flourish and become one of the best players, not just in FC Barcelona, but in the world. And if that does end up being played out, if Ansu Fati does become one of the best players in the world, that would be a great transition, a great way to actually pass the torch towards another player. We have seen that happen from Ronaldinho to Messi. Now we're going to see that from Messi to Ansu Fati. And so it's going to be a beautiful sight to see if this does end up happening. But besides that, whatever happens, get Ansu Fati that new contract. Barcelona do have multiple priorities to take care of, and one of them now has to be to improve Ansu Fati's contract and really lock in that star. And since we are talking about Ansu Fati, I do want to give some updates about his current injury, and we are also going to talk about Piqué for a slight second. So it says here, according to Miguel, he said Piqué and Ansu Fati trained with the group today and will be available against Sevilla. And if you guys don't know what happened to Gerard Piqué, basically he did experience a slight knock on the knee, I believe, and then he had to be taken off and be put to the sidelines. And it did actually look serious because he was on the ground for like around 3 to 5 minutes. And then as for Ansu Fati, it has been explained that Setien was noticing Ansu Fati was suffering from a discomfort, and also that he wasn't able to keep up with the pace with other FC Barcelona players. But now seeing this report, it seems like everything is all right. Now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Sergio Dest. So they have said Sergio Dest is Bayern's favorite target for the right back position. They are looking for a loan deal with an option to buy, but both players and Ajax prefer a straight sale. Barcelona are also interested in Dest, but are struggling financially. So we know that Barcelona do want to bring in a player named Sergio Dest, and one real big competition Barcelona will need to face this summer will be Bayern Munich. And right now, Bayern Munich is the club to be at. They are having a very successful season. If not, I think they already finished the season very early. Bayern have won their 8th league in a row, and right now Bayern Munich is looking to strengthen every position possible. And right now, Bayern's right back is Benjamin Pavard, who has 4 goals and 7 assists in all competitions. And so right now Bayern are doing great on the field and in business. Right now Bayern Munich is doing great business actually, because there has been a report that came out yesterday, and they have stated that they have managed to sign Tanguy on a free transfer from PSG. They signed him on a 5-year contract, and this is a player who has great potential and is very talented and is looking to become one of the best defenders out there. And Bayern got this player for a very cheap price. And so Bayern is not a team that spends a lot of money like Barcelona. They are a team and a club that does great business out there in the transfer market. And so that is something that I do highly respect from that club. And so because of their great business moves, it is clear that Bayern are in a better financial position to bring in players like Dest. And so if Bayern do end up negotiating with Dest, I think that Bayern will end up being a very serious competition to FC Barcelona, because Barcelona are not in their best financial state. And another indicator on knowing if FC Barcelona could get Dest is by knowing the relationship between Barcelona and Nelson Semedo. We still need to find that situation out, because we honestly don't know if Semedo does want to stay at FC Barcelona. We don't know if Barcelona want to keep Nelson Semedo. And so all of those questions have to be answered in order for us to even consider bringing Dest in. And many of you guys might ask, like, okay, what's wrong with having Dest, Semedo, and Sergio Roberto as our right back options? And look, there's nothing wrong with having 3 right backs, but I believe that Barcelona's game plan going forward is to really have just one definitive right back. They don't want to keep switching right backs every other game, because right now we are switching between Sergio Roberto and Nelson Semedo. I think what Barcelona wants is to have a really good young right back that we all know could potentially serve us for a very long time. And so the transfer of Dest going to FC Barcelona is in the air right now. We don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully Barcelona do end up doing the right business moves in this summer. Now, the next topic that I do want to talk about is going to be about the new format that the UEFA Champions League are going to be executing this summer. And this is very, very interesting, because this could possibly benefit FC Barcelona. And I'm going to explain why I'm saying this. So it says here, they have stated that the UEFA Champions League returns this August. The final 8 will be 1-leg fixtures, not 2 legs. Round of 16 matches are on the 7th and 8th of August. The final will take place on August 23rd from the quarterfinals. All matches will be placed in Lisbon. The UEFA also confirms that they will study the possibility of an audience for the final phase of the tournament in early or mid-July. The matches could be played in the Estadio José Alvalade and Estadio da Luis. And it has also been stated that it has yet to be confirmed if the Barcelona and Napoli match is going to be either played in the Camp Nou or if it's going to be played in Lisbon. We still don't have that answer yet, but we will get an answer from that within the coming days. They have also stated that the 2020-2021 Champions League group stages will start on the 20th of October, and that the UCL teams will be allowed to register 3 new players on their maximum 25 player list A for the rest of the 2019-2020 season, provided such players were already registered and eligible, meaning that players like Dembele will be able to take part in the UCL and be in the squad. So out of all that information given, the one thing that I really do want to talk about is about the second leg, and the fact that there will be no second leg. And this is the question that I do want to ask, right? Is that could Barcelona actually benefit from having no second leg? Because Barcelona has been wildly popular and known for winning the first leg. And the reason why Barcelona do end up winning the first leg like all the time is because the opposing team, they simply don't know how Barcelona and Lionel Messi are going to approach them. Because as long as you have Lionel Messi, it's always going to be unpredictable on how that first leg is going to turn out. And usually it turns out well for FC Barcelona. But here is where everything goes into a full U-turn. So when we do end up playing that second leg, this is where the opposing team are going to have an idea on how Barcelona are going to approach them. And knowing Barcelona, right? And you and me know this. We know this exactly, like what happens in the second leg. Barcelona do not ever have a plan B or plan C. And because of that, and because of Barcelona being so predictable in that second leg, teams can say, okay, look, this is what Barcelona do. This is the space they leave behind their left backs and right backs. And they actually don't seem like they could pressure us. They don't have the physical ability to actually keep up with us. Maybe we could get them in this way. And so this is why we see Barcelona completely bottle the second leg, is because Barcelona end up being predictable and they have no plan B or plan C. Plan A always works and we're really good at it, but once the opposing team gets that second chance, right, the second leg, they will end up turning things around. And again, this is why we end up losing the second leg. But now that the UEFA are stating and announcing to the world that there will be no second leg, we will basically actually end up playing 3 finals. And because we are going to be playing 3 finals, if we look at the recent history over the past decade for FC Barcelona, Barcelona has never failed at playing one-off matches when it comes to European competitions. We look at the game between Manchester United in 2009, Barcelona won that match. If we look at the game in 2011, the final between Manchester United and Barcelona, Barcelona won that match. If we look at the game between Juventus and FC Barcelona in 2015, again, Barcelona have won that match. And like I explained earlier, I want to make it clear, the only reason why we win those matches is because it's a one-off match. There is no second leg. Barcelona utilized that plan A greatly, and that is why we always end up winning those finals. And so this is why I say that this new UEFA format could greatly benefit FC Barcelona. So it's going to be very exciting to see how all of this plays out. Could we lose in the quarterfinals? Of course, there's always that possibility, but the chance of Barcelona winning the UCL has greatly increased. And so some teams might benefit from this new format, maybe Atletico Madrid, and some may not. But that is it for today's Barcelona Daily News. This is what's currently going on in FC Barcelona, and I just want to remind you guys that there will be a post-match review for the game between Barcelona and Sevilla, which is going to happen on Friday. And so there's a lot to look forward to. There is multiple reasons to be very excited. I'm excited. I'm pumped. This is going to be a very hectic next 90 days. I cannot wait. And so if you guys are new here, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and again, thank you for all the love and support. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video.